Today, we're going to explore JavaScript functions. What is a function? Well, it's like a reusable block of code that performs a particular job. Functions help you do the same kind of tasks over and over without writing the same code again. The big reason for using functions is to break down a big program into smaller pieces. To see why functions matter, think about this situation: you're creating a program, and you want to show "Hello, world" on the console several times. You'd write console.log, "Hello, world," and repeat it 3 more times. Here's where functions come to the rescue. Instead of writing the same code over and over, you can create a function that encapsulates that code. To create a function, just write the word function, and then give it a special name. In this case, let's call it "say hello," followed by some parentheses and curly braces. Take one of the console log lines and put it inside the function. To use the function, simply call it by its name, like "say hello," and end it with a semicolon. It will make the console say "Hello, world" once. Currently, we call the function at the end. You can also call it at the start of the function. If you want to print "Hello, world" again, simply duplicate the same line and paste it repeatedly as many times as needed. Now, we're going to make a variable called myName and give it the value developers as a string. I'm going to put the myName variable inside a console log, and it will show "Hello, developers" on the console. This is how we can use a global variable in a function. The variables declared outside a function are called global variables, and functions have access to global variables. Or you can access them from anywhere in a program. We'll rename this "say hello" function as addNumbers, and it will display the sum of A and B in the console. This function is all about adding 2 numbers together. Outside of the function, we'll create 2 variables, A with a value of 3 and B with a value of 6. We'll then call the addNumbers function, which should show 9 on the console. You can add any 2 numbers, just put 2 parameters inside the parentheses as A and B. These variables are known as parameters. Let's remove these variables. We don't need them anymore. You can pass 5 and 5, and it will add those numbers that you pass at the time of the function call. If you change these values, the output will adapt accordingly. The values received by the function when it's called are referred to as function arguments. Now, we'll create another function and name it myNew. Let's recreate the same variables A and B that we established earlier. Now, copy this addNumbers and paste it inside the new function. At the top, we'll invoke this new function by writing myNew followed by parentheses. A variable declared within a function is referred to as a local variable. In this case, A and B are local variables, meaning they are only accessible within the function where they are declared. If I use the console log to display the variable B, you'll notice that B is not accessible outside the function. This illustrates that variables declared within the function are considered local to that function. I'm restricted to using these local variables within the function, and I can use these variables when I call the addNumbers function. It's important to ensure that the function parameters match with variables used when calling the function. Additionally, it's worth noting that the variables in the function parameters don't have to retain their original names. You can modify these values when they're received within the function. For example, I can change A to C and B to D, and this adjustment would also work. Now, let's move forward and remove all the current code. Now, let's discuss the concept of the return statement. It's quite straightforward. The return statement ends the execution of a function and returns the specified value to the calling code. To understand this, we'll create a function named getTriangleArea. This function will take base and height as parameters. Calculating the area of a triangle is a breeze. we'll employ the return keyword and then use the formula for the area of a triangle, which is 0.5 times the product of the base and height. Outside of the function, we'll create a variable named myArea and assign it the result of calling the getTriangleArea function with any two numbers, like 3 and 9. Using console.log, we can display the value stored in the myArea variable. The return statement effectively hands over the function's computed value to the calling code. In this case, getTriangleArea holds the area value, which we then assign to the myArea variable, and finally, we display it using console.log. So, indeed, the return statement serves to conclude the function's execution and furnish the specified value to the calling code. If you find it helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos.